I'm Lawrence Wilson, and welcome to this episode of SEMHAC Investigates. Thanks to breakthroughs in treatment and pharmaceutical advances, people living with HIV are now leading normal lives. However, aging while living with HIV is a different story. For example, senior citizens living with HIV have an increased risk of developing some form of Alzheimer's or dementia. Satonia Beasley spoke with people from the Alzheimer's Association to find out what is HANDS and files this report.
According to the Alzheimer's Association, HAND is an acronym for HIV-associated neurocognitive disorder. In the early days of the epidemic, prior to the antiretroviral treatment, many people with HIV would develop dementia. Even though this is very uncommon now, people living with HIV have a higher risk of developing some form of cognitive impairment.
Anyone living with HIV who is aging is at risk for HAND. So the biggest risk factor is the HIV virus. Uncontrolled viral loads, low CD4 counts, and the inflammation is the biggest risk factor. Other risk factors include other comorbid diseases like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, heart disease, or even substance use can kind of compound on the other risk factors to make people living with HIV at a high risk for developing HAND.
Kate Pierce is here also joining me. Kate, why is knowing about HAND important if I am living with HIV?
Knowing about HAND is important because knowledge is power. There's so much fear around memory loss and memory change that we want people to know that this can be a normal part of having HIV and that it's so important to talk with your HIV provider if you're noticing those changes in yourself. Because there might be something we can do to correct it or at least make it a little easier to live with. If it is something that can't be totally reversed or changed, we can help give strategies to make life a little better and so you continue to enjoy yourself.
How can the Alzheimer's Association help?
Well, the Alzheimer's Association is really the Alzheimer's and Related Disorders Association, but that's too long for business cards. But what it does mean is that we're here to support anyone that's experiencing memory changes for any reason. So here at the Alzheimer's Association, we have a specific program for people that are living with HIV and experiencing HAND or memory change for any other reason. That means we can help people get diagnosed, link them to providers that can provide diagnosis. We can give them information on support groups. We can do some short-term counseling about what that means to be living with memory change. We have social engagement programs, we have education programs, we have respite scholarships. So there's so much that we can do to enhance and support the things that you might already be receiving through your HIV provider. So we really hope that people will contact us. My phone number is 248-996-1036, and people can call me directly. That means that you don't have to disclose your HIV status to a random person on the phone. You know you're getting me, and of course we keep that information confidential.
Oh. Courtney, what does thinking motor mood changes look like?
Okay, so as far as thinking, someone who would be experiencing HAND, they may have memory loss. They may have problems with decision making. As far as mood, they may be depressed, apathetic, or irritable. And then for the physical or motor, they may have an unsteady gait or tremors.
Courtney, what can we do to reduce the risk of HAND?
First and foremost, definitely consult with your HIV provider. Secondly, if you are using alcohol or drugs, it would be best to seek counseling to try to fix that problem because substance use is definitely a risk factor for HAND. And then managing other chronic illnesses, keeping your blood pressure in check, cholesterol in check, blood sugar in check, all those things will help reduce your risk of HAND.